Hey, everybody, we are Geeking Out Ninjas, and we're here to geek
Geek
out.
out.
Awesome. Well, I'm Jeremiah, and this is Craig.
Hi, I'm Craig.
Hey, Craig, how you doing?
Oh, I'm doing pretty good. How are you, Jeremiah?
I'm doing fabulous. It's been a while.
It's been a little bit since we tried this whole podcast slash video podcast thing.
Yeah, and I think we were a little bit ahead of our time the first time we did it, and I think it's come a long way.
Yeah,
I think it's a little bit better at this point. Better camera views, better sound. What do you think?
yeah, definitely better sound. I remember the first show after we did the radio show. I think like the first 10 or 15 minutes were just like silence. So
Oh, were we trying to figure stuff out? Is that what it was? I haven't
uh,
gone back and watched.
I went back and watching it, and I had to like apologize, like sorry, nobody could hear. It was terrible. But
Yeah.
yeah, much better now. We both have podcasting microphones.
Mm-hmm.
And we
100%.
we're ready to go.
I think we are. We both have better cameras and they're on us instead of being they looked like they were like 10 or 15 feet away.
Yeah,
The
it was.
webcam. It was pretty bad. It's pretty bad. So it feels almost like you said it earlier, we're almost back on the radio, it seems like.
Yeah. That our first radio show was actually 8 years ago.
Wow.
Almost 8 years ago. December 15th, 2013. So well, it's like 7 years and a month.
That's a long time. I did not really realize it in 7 years.
Right? Neither did I.
Man, every Saturday night driving to 281. Well, it was a drive for me. I was living in New Braunfels. It's like down
Yeah.
the road for you.
I think it was like 10, 15 minutes for me.
Yeah. Yeah. Those were the
Not bad.
days, huh?
Not bad. It was definitely interesting to go into a business building with nobody in the building.
Yes.
It's like
Yes.
one security guard and then the guy running the console at the radio.
Yeah. Yeah. He did a good job. He helped us out a little bit.
Yeah, definitely gave us some pointers. Our
Yeah.
last show ever was May 5th, 2016. So it's been almost 5 years since we did that one. Quite a few things have happened in our life since then. I know I've had 3 kids since then. So
I know. 3 kids. What do you do with 3 kids?
juggle mostly, metaphorically and physically.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's quite the life change. I still have 3 kids. I haven't lost any or gained any. So
Well, that's good.
I'm doing pretty good with that. Wow.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you have one that graduated or is just graduated high school, right? Or is graduating this year.
I have one that's graduate. My middle one's graduating this year.
Yeah.
My oldest has been a couple years in college, and then I still have one in middle school.
Nice. Is he
Yeah.
going will he be a freshman next year?
Not quite.
Oh, okay.
He's in 7th grade, so he'll still be one more year in middle school.
Gotcha.
You know, the rough years.
Yeah. Middle school.
Yeah.
Let's be honest. Middle school, high school, they're kind of terrible all around. I think if just for like emotional and social and just a whole bunch of reasons why. I think it's I mean there's some good bits of it, but I think there's a lot of like negative stuff.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Both my oldest couldn't wait to get out of high school.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was glad to be done with it.
Yeah. I think we all are. We don't want to go back.
Everybody wants to get older faster, but then when you're older, it's like, I want to go back. But I
I'll
don't want
tell
to go
you.
back to high school.
No, not at all. No, it's much easier being an adult, it seems like.
Yeah. All my kids are little. They're all
Yeah.
at this point in time under 5. I can't say that much longer.
No.
We've got
No.
one that's turning 5 in 10 days on the 23rd.
Wow.
Yeah. Got one that is 3. She just turned 3 in November. And then I have one that just turned 1 in November. They're 10 days apart.
Wow.
Could not have planned that if we tried.
I know. I know. It's funny that because I'm at a later stage than you are, you know, it's tiring when they're that young. And you're still going to be tired by the time they get to the age of my kids. It's a different tired.
Yeah.
You know, it's not so much physical, but
It's
no,
emotional and mental.
Yes, yes, but it's a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Awesome, awesome. So, do you have a different job than you did 4 years ago, 5 years ago?
Maybe. I mean, I don't work in the same place that those videos took place in. The two videos that we did,
The two? Did we only do two? It seems like we
we
did
only did
more.
two. Yeah.
Yeah,
I
but
think we tried to do another one and we never released it. But yeah. So
probably
I
for the
worked at
best.
CBC before back then. I worked at RBFCU for a little bit,
Mhm.
and now I work at Documation.
All right, and so you're still in the IT world, right?
Yeah, I'm pretty much doing the same thing I was doing. I like working for small companies and kind of being a jack of all trades to some extent. I think it
Hmm.
would be nice to maybe specialize a little bit. And I kind of did that at RBFCU, but just you know, I won't go into all the details. It wasn't a great fit for me. So
Sure, sure. Yeah. Well, awesome. Yeah, I took a break from the IT world for a little bit, doing a little bit of mortgages and home inspection, some of the real estate game, but
it's for the best.
yeah.
IT can burn you out pretty good.
It can, but I love being back on the technical side, and I just got tired of selling. It was what it seems like I was always doing. So
Yeah. When
yeah,
you own your own business, I mean, that's pretty much what you're doing all the time, right?
it is. It is. It's 24/7, and so it seems like I have more organized hours depending on the day, but um, yeah, it's a different kind of stress, which is good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's good.
Wow. Awesome. Well, man, I'm so glad to be back at this. I'm so glad we're getting back in. I think it's a good time to talk electronics, computers, geeking out kind of things.
Just all the fun things that we like and enjoy.
I know. Exactly. Exactly. So, um, what's going on? Any kind of news you have going on
Uh,
in the world?
what's interesting? So things technologically have changed so much in 4 years.
Mhm.
I don't remember everything that happened in 2016, but I feel like smart homes have really taken off.
Mhm.
Um, like they're so much more prevalent than they were before. Um, I think that's got to be one of the bigger changes for at least for people who have adopted the smart home. Uh, that's got to be one of the biggest changes that's happened since the last time we had our show. So I'm looking forward to talking about um, smart home stuff and a bunch of other things like that. I think the thing that piqued my interest. I'm trying to find the tab on my screen. I've got too many windows open. So this is not so much like technology, but um, SpaceX, man.
Ooh.
They're doing some crazy stuff right now. They're working on their Starship vehicle, um,
Yes.
which is like bigger than a Saturn V, which is the old Apollo rockets.
Right. Right.
So this thing will be able to lift. It'll be I think one of the highest lift or the biggest lift rockets ever. It'll lift a largest amount of weight, and it'll be reusable and land and all that stuff. So they've been testing that down in Boca Chica, Texas. Um,
Okay. Yeah.
so they're doing another test launch of their Starship. I think it's serial number 9
Hmm.
is what they're designating it, and so it'll be launching I think sometime this weekend. So that'll be kind of interesting and fun to watch.
What do they have a time frame as far as when they think it's going to be ready to send people up?
I don't know if they do. I mean, you could probably say I'm sure Elon has some sort of time frame in his mind, but he's always a little more optimistic than
Sure,
the
sure.
actual timeline ends up being. So, I mean, we'll see. We'll see what happens.
Yeah. I mean, that's crazy. I don't think we were even talking about any of this 4 years ago,
No.
or being anywhere near uh, going back to space at all. Well, I guess we had the International Space Station, but we just didn't know that we were going to be testing rockets to go even further.
Yeah, SpaceX is. I mean, they're the ones sending people back to the ISS now too. So I mean, that's pretty interesting and fascinating to see how far they've gone with that.
Yeah, and all the advances they've made with the International Space Station, as far as the kinds of things like I know I've been listening to different astronauts on different podcasts and talking about their life on the space station and the kind of clothes that they have to wear because they have to you have to work out, but there are certain ways that they have to keep the equipment tied to the space station so it doesn't shake and move and
Yeah.
just some crazy things. And like they don't sweat necessarily up there, which I find weird. It's like that's all I do is sweat, which is kind of gross, but they have special clothes that they can wear for several days because they just don't sweat. It's
Interesting.
weird.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, there's some really neat stuff that they're putting together up there and then bringing it back, and it's going to start hitting the market. Different kind of things that they're doing. Um, I'd have to agree with the smart home though. I use Google. I assume you do. We're big Google
Yeah.
fans.
I'm all in Google, so
Yeah, and so I love the smart home. Now I do have like a spare Alexa,
yeah.
and yeah, I don't like it.
Does she feel left out a lot of times?
Well, yes, because I don't use her at all hardly, and when I do, um, she just doesn't give me the right answers. It's terrible.
Yeah.
Like she still thinks I live in my. I moved over this last year, and she still thinks I live in the other house, and so she gives me weather updates for Cibolo. And I've told her I'm not in Cibolo, and I put it on the app, and she's just not following along with me.
She just can't let go.
She can't.
Jeremiah, I loved that house. Why did you leave?
I know she did. She had to. Well, what's funny is she's in the bathroom now. It's like she's in timeout because she's not. She doesn't deserve to be in any other room at this point.
Is she now just
Also,
shower radio?
that's exactly what I was going to say. She is shower radio. I don't let her play Spotify. She has to play Pandora, which is terrible. So, you know, she's in a long timeout.
I mean, you got
But
to do
yeah,
what
I'm
you got to
sure
do for technology,
you
right?
you do. But yeah, we'll be talking a lot about Google. We have a lot of Google tech, and we love Google. We've always loved Google from our radio days.
Yeah, when I had the Google Glass back in the day, I still have
I
it.
know. I'm sure you don't get any use out of it, do you?
And so does this assistant.
There you go. That's awkward.
Nice.
Nobody
They're
was
always
talking to you
listening.
at this point in time, Google.
That's all right. She knows we were talking about her, so she was very
Yeah.
excited.
That's really all that matters.
Exactly.
No, yeah, I still
So-
have it. It kind of just sits on my shelf. I couldn't bring myself to sell it, even though it's really not worth anything at this point. I haven't turned it on in a couple of years, and I think they like discontinued the software or disabled the software or something. So
Right.
I think there's a good chance it doesn't even work anymore. I don't think you can
Mhm.
download the Google Glass app anymore. But I get reminded that I had it all the time when I look in Google Photos, and there's like all these photos of myself from other people testing out Google Glass. So that's
Love it.
always interesting to see those photos. It's like I'm in so many photos in like the year 2014 at work because everybody's like, "Oh, can I try it?" I'm like, "Yeah, sure, fine, whatever."
Nice.
So it's kind of funny to see all that stuff.
Well, it's interesting. I came across some, oh gosh, I wish I could remember the company, but I came across an ad about a type of glasses that a company was going to really push. I think it was in 2018. And then they got bought out by Facebook.
Hmm.
And now,
Oh, like Oculus or?
yeah, it wasn't Oculus. It was another type of wearable glasses. But I think the Facebook kind of shut it down. And they were looking for, there's a ton of articles about them making a big push in 2019. And then when they got bought out, they just kind of disappeared.
Well, that's kind of I think so. Facebook's getting into AR and VR and all that stuff. So obviously they bought Oculus
Right.
a couple years ago, and so I think that's been their main focus. But I would almost guarantee you that they're working on AR, which is augmented reality. So
Right.
for
Right.
anybody that doesn't know, that's where they display things virtually that are like they superimpose them in the real world through the like glasses or what have you. VR, it's like a whole different world that you're in. So yeah, I would imagine they're probably working on something like that. I know Apple is working on AR glasses, and I would imagine that Google's still. I mean, I know they're still working on Google Glass. They kind of moved into the enterprise market and doing different things, but I wouldn't doubt that they're probably working on something in one of their hidden labs somewhere.
Oh, I'm sure. I'm
I
sure.
think
Well, no, go ahead. I'm sorry.
I was gonna say I think there's a bunch of companies probably working on AR. I think it's gonna be a long time before anything good from augmented reality actually comes out, though.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I was just going to add in there that turns out on a Friday, my son ordered the Oculus Quest 2.
Oh, nice.
And so it comes in Friday.
Is that the one that's standalone, or is that one connected to something?
No, it's standalone. I think it is. Yeah. He got the 64 gig one. So it wasn't the big one, but I'll give you input next week on how that looks and
Yeah,
if
that
it's worth what he paid for it.
Did he pay with his own money?
He did. He
Nice.
did. That was a lot of, he had a good Christmas, a really good Christmas. So he said, Dad, this is what I'm going to order. And so we ordered it a couple of days after Christmas, and it wasn't supposed to come in until the 25th. And then I guess they got some extra ones out. So we'll get ours here on the 15th.
Yeah,
this Friday.
I've heard good things about the Quest. People really like it. So I'll be interested to hear your reaction. I actually have PlayStation VR. I've had that for 3 or 4 years, I think. It's really fun. I mean, it's not like it's not super photorealistic or anything, but it really something about VR really just puts you in the environment, even though, I mean, you can obviously tell everything's fake.
Sure.
But there's just something like your brain is like tricked into thinking that you're in that place. I was playing a game called Farpoint with actually I bought like the gun
right.
thing and all that stuff. And I would be playing that, and some of the planets have like wind or they're cold or something, and I'm feeling cold, even though I know all that's happening is there's a fan in that room, but it feels like I'm cold, and I'm like, what the heck is going on? But it's like a psychological like thing that it's doing. Your brain doesn't understand the input that's coming, so it's like trying to compensate or something. But it's bizarre how it just immerses you in the worlds.
Yeah, that's what we're excited about it. So we got to figure out what games to get because we haven't bought any yet. But an interesting story I'm going to tell. So when I was probably 10 or 11, I spent my summers at a day camp on Brooks Air Force Base, and my parents worked when my mom worked on the Air Force Base. We weren't in the military, but she worked on it. Anyways, so one day we got to go to one, I don't even know where this was on the base, but it was some department that was working on different things. And they were working on, one of the things they were working on was virtual reality. And so at that time, it was only, you put the glasses on and it was only red lines and polygon shapes. So what am I, 42?
So like the original Death Star trench run from Star Wars?
Right, exactly. So this is 30 years ago. And we got to see it on the computer screen, and there was probably like 6 or 7 of us that were getting the tour, because they also showed us the machine that rotates, that puts the G-force on you. But as far as the virtual reality, we got to watch it on the computer screen, and everybody got a turn with the glasses on except me. We ran out of time when it came from my turn. So I've never experienced VR.
Oh man.
Well, I take that back. I did get to put on the glasses for Nintendo's version, their first
the
version.
Virtual Boy.
Virtual Boy. Yeah, I think I tried it once. A friend of mine was very nice to let me try it the one time. But yeah, I've never, other than that, really experienced VR. So I'm quite excited for this weekend. I don't know that we'll get much sleep this weekend because we're going to be fighting over who gets a turn.
He's like, Dad, I bought it. Yeah, but I gave you some of that money.
Exactly. And I just found out today he doesn't have any money left, so I'll be buying the game for it. So
Oh, there you go. He's going to have to share it now.
He's going to have to share it. Yeah. So we'll talk about it
awesome.
next week, and I'll let you know how cool it is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's awesome. So, I think there are some interesting things that I think we're going to be talking about going forward. So I bought a Tesla Model 3 back in 2018. I'd like to do some videos and things with regards to that. And actually, someone recently hit me in my Tesla Model 3.
Ooh.
Yeah, not too bad, luckily, but I'm still having to, and luckily their insurance is paying for it because they were definitely at fault. I don't know if I can talk about it or not. So,
where do you get it worked on? You can't just take it to any body shop, can you?
No, there's only one certified body shop in San Antonio.
Yeah.
Luckily, the other person had fantastic insurance, so they are not fighting anything about the claim. They're just like, yeah, we'll pay for it. We know we're at fault. And I'm like, score.
Nice.
But I'm like, at the same time, I'm like, why would you hit my car? I've been so good about making sure it doesn't get hit or dinged or whatever.
Well, that's pretty good. It's been almost 3 years then, huh?
Yeah, I've had it since, well, sort of. It was June or yeah, I think it was July of 2018.
Yeah, I see Teslas all over the place.
I do too. I'm shocked. I thought it was just because I lived in and it could be because you live also in a richer part of town.
More affluent.
Yeah. I was thinking about that today on my way back from work. I was like, man, I saw 3 Teslas. I have a 4-mile commute. So it's not like I'm going very far. But I saw 3 Teslas. I saw a Model X, a Model 3, and a Model S. So,
wow.
I almost saw the whole lineup of cars. And then there's mine. So there's 4 in a 4-mile stretch of road. So I'm kind of shocked at how prevalent they are in my area.
Oh no, they're all over the place. Well, it's interesting because my middle child, she's 17, and that's what she wants. She wants a Tesla because I talk about yours all the time.
Oh, really?
But anyways, yeah. And so we've been talking about it for years, and that's what she wants. And so she's the one that actually point them out wherever we're driving. She's like, oh, there's a Tesla. There's a Tesla. And she's just thinks she's going to get one here pretty soon.
And she can pay for it, right?
That's exactly what I tell her is, yeah, once you have a job and you're ready to get one, you can go ahead and do that.
Yeah.
And so she likes to remind me, well, why don't you just go buy one?
That's not how it works.
No, it's not. And what's interesting? You can't find them. You can't buy them used. It's rare.
Yeah, it's real rare.
And they don't lose. It doesn't seem like they lose their value if you can find it.
No, they actually they retain their value better than any other vehicle out there right now.
Right.
I think it's probably because the used market is so sparse and there's just nothing out there. So
yeah, people that buy them, I guess, tend to keep them.
Yeah. So I think Tesla also, so they essentially control the used car market for Teslas. Most people sell them back to Tesla. And so they're the ones who handle most of the used car market. So I'm sure there's probably some sort of something that they're doing to make there be a little more scarcity.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't doubt that there's some sort of artificial price limit that they're setting.
Sure.
It looks better for them.
So what's the upkeep on that? Is it better than your typical standard vehicle?
It's less expensive.
Yeah.
There's no oil changes. So you're not having to do that every, well, I guess now it's almost 15,000 miles for like brand new cars, but back when I had my Toyota Corolla, it was like every 5,000 miles. So it was like
Right.
I don't drive that often, but even then I felt like it was happening pretty often. The biggest things, I'm trying to think of what I've actually had to do. I had the tires rotated. Um,
Ooh.
I did that last year after like 2 years. That's kind of their thing is like after 2 years, you should probably have the tires rotated. The only thing that I do is that I plug in the charger at night, and I I add more washer fluid, and in my case, it's just distilled water. That's like
Nice.
it's pretty much the peak of laziness for car maintenance, right?
Well, and so has the battery degraded at all, or is the battery still great and
I think
last
I
as
think I've
long?
maybe lost 5 miles of range in 2 years.
Oh, that's not bad.
Yeah, so yeah, not bad at all. I think so. There have been a lot of people who have done like, oh, my car is 100,000 miles or 300,000 miles, and they're not seeing very much battery degradation at all.
Mhm.
I think there's a company in Las Vegas who either rents out or no, I think they're a taxi company. Um, they've had over 300,000 miles on a Tesla, and I think one of the few things they haven't changed on it is the battery, and I think it's still at like 80% or something after
Oh, wow.
300,000 miles.
Yeah.
So I think there's going to be a lot of longevity there. And I think the good thing is you'll be able to replace those battery packs, and Tesla will be able to recycle them and reuse them and convert them back into batteries or whatever else they need to. So they won't just go back into a landfill.
Right. Exactly. Well, and what I find interesting too is that Tesla's big into the solar market now.
Yeah, I actually have Tesla solar panels.
So are you just a big advertisement for Google and Tesla, man? That's what I didn't even know that.
Yeah, unfortunately, that's kind of my MO, Tesla and Google. You could probably ask almost anybody that I talk to. Those are probably the two companies I talk about the most. I'm not a big fan of Elon's. I think he's a little weird and all that stuff, but he's got some great companies. His companies are doing a lot of great things. So I got Tesla solar panels beginning of last year.
Yeah.
My house is not super efficient, to put it lightly. I think I need to have all the insulation redone, but my bill has dropped. My electric bill has dropped in half, but my like high bill is like $400 in like August. So I don't think I've seen one over 200 since I got them.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So for me, that's pretty good. And CPS does a whole bunch more than just electricity. So they do your gas and your waste management and all that stuff. So I think my actual electricity usage is probably below like $60 on a regular month. Then I've got all the other add-in fees that we've got gas for certain things in our house, and then
right.
obviously waste management, whatever that is. So yeah, that doesn't. None of those things go away, but
Right.
It really cuts down on my actual paying CPS, so which is fantastic.
Wow. Well, that's a good story. I've heard different stories with people about getting solar panels, and some are good and some are bad, or some are kind of like they kind of broke even. But if you're saving money each month, man, that's a good deal.
Yeah, and I think a lot of it comes down to how efficient is your house. Like if my house were a lot more efficient, I think I would probably almost be to the point where I'm not paying much of anything for electricity. Like I'd probably be down to like $10 or something like that. I think if I could actually keep the cool air in my house or the hot air in my house, depending on what season it is,
Right, right.
Doesn't really happen real well in my house. So once I've got that taken care of, I feel like my bill will go way down. So
Wow, that's good.
I'm looking forward to that.
Wow, that makes me want to look into it again. I get the calls like once every few weeks, like, "Hey, get to solar, get to solar." I don't talk to those guys.
Yeah, there's also a company. I think they teamed up with CPS. I think it's like Big Sun Solar or something like that, where they just have like a solar field that you can. You're essentially buying the solar panels from them, but they essentially are cutting you a check, so it counts towards your bill. So whatever you produce out in this field is essentially, put towards your bill. So it's not, you don't have to put them on your house
Oh, interesting.
necessarily. So if you don't want to do that, you can buy into this other system that does essentially the same thing. Because nobody's actually using solar on their house unless they're not using
Off
the
the
solar
grid.
on their house in their house. They're
Right.
selling it back to CPS, just because of the way the systems work, unless you're completely off grid. So, it works in the same principle as if you were to install it on top of your house.
Right.
It's pretty cool.
That is. That's
They give you the
awesome.
tax rebate and all that stuff that you still get. I think it's down to it's either 26 or 22% of a rebate on the solar panels. So it's pretty good chunk of money.
Yeah, that's not bad. I may go buy a wind turbine too as well. Maybe see if I can get something off that.
Perfect.
I love driving out West Texas. You start seeing them all over the place. They actually, they're huge when you get close to them.
They are enormous.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy.
I think it was in Texas. We were driving from somewhere. It may not have been Texas. I don't know. It was some road trip we took. I think we went all the way to like Montana or something. So it could have been anywhere between here and Montana. And they had one of those solar blade, or not solar blades, one of those turbine blades on the ground that you could get out and like stand in front of.
Oh, really?
And it is massive.
Yes.
Like the scale is like, you don't even comprehend how big this thing is until you're right next to it. It's crazy.
We went to a high school football game out in somewhere in mid Texas. I forget where, middle of nowhere. And the road just went right next to the wind turbines, and you could they're massive. Yeah. They're moving and everything. It was pretty amazing.
I think they're getting bigger too. So
yeah,
be interested to see how much bigger they get in the years to come.
Exactly.
So I think we should start talking about our top 3 tech purchases for 2020.
Well, I was just going to say that. I think we're changing our format a little bit. I'm sure you all remember how we used to do things.
all 10 of you.
But yeah, so each show now we're going to really kind of have a main topic that we try to just really talk about for the majority of the show. And so this today, you just mentioned it, our top 3 purchases for 2020. It's a good thing we're starting the year off.
Yeah.
So we're going to look back and talk about a couple of things that we, really enjoyed purchasing. So I'll let you start.
Pick one. You want me to start?
Yeah. Pick one of your 3.
So I'll pick the one that I got at the very end of the year.
Okay.
Technically, I didn't purchase this. I got it as a gift, but I'm still going to count it. So I got a photo scanner. I know that sounds bizarre to be like, oh, this is like a top purchase of the year, but so I've had like a really nice, like expensive Epson flatbed scanner for a long time. I scanned in a bunch of my mom's family's photos and a bunch of like my family's photos, but it just takes forever. I can put like 3 or 4 photos on there at a time, but then I've got to crop and do all that stuff. Even the software, it's iffy at best. But Epson came out with a new like photo scanner that feeds. It's got like a feeder in there. The quality is not quite as good as a flatbed scanner, but at this point, I've been holding on to these pictures for. I think I've had them in my house for like 8 or 9 years. My my parents' family photos, and I'm ready to just get them out of my office because they've been in my office for that whole time. I want the space back, Mom and Dad. And so I'm super stoked about this. I think I've scanned over 1,000 photos in like 2 weeks or something like that.
Wow.
So I've gone through like 3 of the bins that I had. I've got like, I think 3 more, but one of them's like a gigantic box. So it'll be interesting to see how long it takes me to go through those. I still need to sort through them and maybe fix certain ones and just correct some color and things like that, just because I'm super picky about that kind of thing. But I think for most people, a photo scanner like this, it's an Epson Fast Photo FF-680W. But if you have like a ton of boxes of photos that you want to digitize, like this thing is like a lifesaver. It's fantastic. I've done all sorts of sizes. I don't know if you remember those like super panoramic
yes.
prints.
Yes.
We got caught up in that fad for a while.
We all did.
So
we
many
all
of those.
did.
So yeah, it'll scan, weird sizes like that all the way down to like little wallet size photos, like 2x2s or 1x2s, whatever size those are. They give you like a sheet that you can put in like delicate photos or photos that maybe have something sticky on them because they're in a photo album or something like that.
Right.
But yeah, it is definitely fantastic. Would recommend 100% to anybody.
Well, nice. So what we'll do for everybody that listens and watches this, we're going to put our list together, put it on the website. We'll put it on our Facebook, Geeking Out Ninjas. We'll blast it where we can, so you can look at the things that we talk about and really, hear our opinion, and then maybe go out and buy it for yourself.
There you go.
And we love sharing and things with everybody. And so I'm going to go low tech.
Sharing is caring, Jeremiah.
It is. I'm going to go kind of low tech on my first top purchase. And so I sit at my desk. That's what I do. I'm in IT, right? We sit at our desk all day. We're doing different things. And typically I put my phone next to my keyboard. Sometimes it stays in my pocket. And sometimes I need to take a phone call and type at the same time. And I don't like wearing an earpiece.
Yeah.
So I bought a low tech phone holder.
Okay.
I love it. It sits. It's great because it sits right in front of my monitors, right behind my keyboard. I can see my texts when they come in. I see emails. When I need to talk, I can put it on speakerphone. I have my hands free to point and click. I do my Zoom meetings on it, all because it's a very simple phone holder.
Nice.
And
do you have it in front of you? Because I'm curious what this looks like.
I don't. It's at my desk at work.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, I'll post a picture of it though, and it's like the greatest thing ever because it frees up my hands. I just would look silly holding the phone and trying to type with one hand, and I cannot imagine how I did anything before I had this phone holder. And I get compliments on it from the people that I work with in the office. They're like, "Oh, what is that? Oh, that holds your phone." Let me tell you, it's the greatest thing ever. It's like almost as good as sliced bread. It is crazy.
You just can't eat it, so
you can't. But it is. I love it, and I mean, I have one here with me, but it's tiny, and it kind of holds my phone, but. When you see the one that I have, I mean, it could have been what, $12 maybe.
Nice.
Greatest purchase, probably for years. I would say it's just because it's such a lifesaver. So that's number one for me.
Nice.
Yeah.
These aren't in like order of like how much we like them, right? Just like random order.
Mine was.
Oh, yours was? Oh,
okay. That was like my top.
Oh,
so
okay.
I'm going to end really sadly, but I started out like super excited about my products, and that was one of them.
You started at a 10.
Yes.
We're gonna end up on a 1. Perfect.
That's all right. It doesn't matter how you finish, it matters how you start, right?
I don't think that's the saying, Jeremiah.
It is for my phone holder.
As long as it's not for your wife.
That's all right. I don't know that she watches this, so I think I'll be okay.
She probably won't even notice.
All right.
So I guess, should I go next?
Go next. What do you got?
So number 2, so I got a new TV for my office. So I've had a TV in my office / room for a long time. I think since I was like 9 years old. I saw some going through photos back to that. I saw some photos where I had like one of those. I had like an old 13-inch tube TV. You had to like click the dials.
Yep.
And like my Sega Genesis was hooked up through the screws that you would like tighten to the metal piece. So it goes all the way back then. Bought myself a TV when I lived with my parents back in like 2009, like a Panasonic plasma TV. So I've had one in my office for a long time, but I got a new LG OLED TV, the LG C10 55-inch, and it is fantastic. I'm kind of a TV snob though, so I don't know if it's the right move for everybody, but when I announce my third item, it might make more sense why I got the TV. But I mean, oh man, the quality is just fantastic. The blacks, like everybody says, are super black. The colors are so vibrant. Man, I just like, it's fantastic on every front. Like, things that used to just, I mean, I was impressed with my, like, I had a Vizio, like whatever, had HDR and all that stuff. So I mean, it looked all right. We actually moved that to the living room. And my mother-in-law came over one day. She's like, "Did you get a new TV? It looks so good." I was like, "Well, it's the one I had in my office for a while. It's fine, whatever."
Right.
But yeah, this TV just blows that one away. Like, I've been trying to convince my wife. I was like, now we need one in the media room where I can watch everything with my super nice surround sound. Like, let's make it a full movie theater experience. Now that COVID has like taken over the world, I need a movie theater, babe.
That's right.
So
has she bought it yet?
No.
Has she bought into
no, not
yet.
I'm hoping that $2,000 stimulus check shows up.
Very nice. You should invest that.
I probably should. I'm investing in my sanity, Jeremiah, is what I'm doing.
No, I understand. With 3 girls under 5 or at 5, yeah. I completely 100% understand that.
We both love movies. It's like date night for us.
Yeah.
Not every night, but you know.
Exactly. Well, I'm sure the kiddos too. I mean,
no, they're not really allowed in there.
They like movies. I know they're not allowed in there. But they like movies, and one day they will be.
Yeah, we've let them in there. We had the girls during the pandemic, you know, since this whole thing started. I think it was during the summer we like pitched a tent in there. Like I've used to go camping, and we'll get into all that stuff another time. But we pitched one of my bigger tents in the living room or in the media room, and put pillows down and blankets and did popcorn and watched The Lion King for the first time. Which, you know, it's a little scarier than you might imagine or remember when you're watching it through a 4-year-old and under's eyes. So
yes,
that was it was interesting to see that again. But yeah, my kids now love The Lion King. So there you go.
Oh yeah. Awesome. All right.
Number 2 for Jeremiah.
Number 2 for me. So as you get to listen to me and hear my stories, you're going to know that I like to eat. That's probably one of my favorite pastimes.
Who doesn't?
Well, you know, I think we go the extra mile. I'll tell you that much. So we bought a KitchenAid digital oven fryer, air fryer, I should say, not oven fryer.
Nice.
A digital countertop oven with air fryer in the black. So what this is not just an air fryer. It's slash toaster oven slash convection oven slash oven. It even fits a 9 by 13 pan.
Dang.
It doesn't look like it will, but by golly, it does. And let me tell you, we love it. And because it heats up so much faster than your standard oven.
Oh, yeah.
Right? Because it's so much smaller. We bake cakes in there. We air fry anything and everything that we can because we love fried foods. I don't think we've made a pie yet, but we've been close. I mean, we've put all kinds of stuff in here. Of course, you make toast with it, and
of course
you can dial. Of course, you can put how toasted you want it, right, 1 through 5, and then you even tell it how many slices of bread are in there. I think that's amazing.
Nice.
And that's crazy, right? It's just it came with the frying basket. I mean, it's just what a wonderful piece of equipment. And again, it's the Kitchenaid Countertop Airfryer oven. Love it.
I think as soon as you post that, I'm gonna buy that.
You should.
I love 100%. My toaster oven, but if you add in like so many extra things, I'm on board. Let's do this.
You need to do it. You can come over and borrow mine if you want. I would allow you to try it out.
Perfect.
It just makes frozen foods better because then they're not just in the oven or the microwave. You actually fry them. So yes, that's a close. Almost as excited about my phone holder, but I've got to say that was a major purchase this past year that we made, and it's almost life changing.
I was gonna say it almost seems it's hard to say which one's more life changing, the phone holder or the air fryer.
I love food, but the phone holder takes that slight edge for first place. So yeah, there you go. So that was number 2 for me.
All right. So my number 3 is my PS5.
What?
So I actually have 2 controllers because my daughter and I have been playing Sackboy. I was trying to find the disc, but I think it's in the PlayStation. We've been having a great time playing that. I mean, that's not the only game I played, but love the PS5 so far. It's kind of fantastic to have things load almost instantaneously. I've been a PlayStation fan since like 1995 when I got my first PlayStation.
Mm-hmm.
So super stoked. I was lucky enough to get invited to sign up for the waiting list. It sounds like when I ordered my Tesla. I got to put $1,000 down to get on a waiting list. No, but Sony had their own like waiting list that you could sign up for, and all you had to do is put in your PlayStation ID and all that stuff, so they could verify that you're actually a PlayStation diehard and and that you're only going to buy one of these things. So I got in on the first pre-order that they did. So I was able to get mine like on launch day directly from Sony, which was fantastic. Didn't have to like figure out this whole like pre-order thing from Best Buy or Target or wherever. Because that has been a nightmare. I actually before I signed up on Sony's website, I tried to do Best Buy because it spontaneously went on sale one day, and I like had it in the cart forever, and it just would never check out. And I was like, "What the heck is going on?" It was so bizarre, which is I think what people have been experiencing. Here's a note to all of the companies that sell things like this. You should come up with some sort of sign-up system to where people can only buy one. Sony figured it out. I'm sure y'all can figure it out, and y'all have been in the retail business a lot longer than they have. But yeah, PlayStation 5, love it so far. It's not like life transforming or anything, but it's
It's not a phone holder.
It's not a phone holder, and it's not frying my food, but but it is making games load faster, and I mean they look a little better and play a little better. So I like playing video games, especially during the pandemic. I mean, it's really been one of the few outlets that I've had, so it's been nice.
Do you have Spider-Man yet? I hear that's pretty fantastic.
I did. That was the first game I played was Miles Morales and beat that. So got my platinum trophy. I think I've platinumed all of the games that I've played on PS5 so far, which is only 3. It's only been 3. It's not like
good. I'm glad you kind of clarified that because all your games sounds like maybe 10 or 15.
It's only been 2 months, so I got Spider-Man, Miles Morales, Astro. I don't know the exact name. It's the one. So it actually comes with the PlayStation, but it shows off all the cool features of the controller because the controller has super specific rumble, and mixed with the audio that the controller actually puts out, it just feels like you're on different surfaces, whether you're going through glass or on glass or ice or grass or things like that. It just it feels different, and it's super cool and specific on how they did that. And then the triggers are adaptive, so they change for different things, and you can pull them. They resist more if there's maybe you're pulling back a bow with a bow and arrow, and you feel that resistance on there. And I know some other games are trying to incorporate like different guns feel different with the triggers and things like that. So you're just easier to know what you're using without having to look at the gun or what have you. It's a more whole feeling experience. That sounded terrible. I'm gonna go with it though. It just feels more immersive playing the game with the controller. I mean, the controller is fantastic. It's a little too big, I think. Not for my hands. It fits my hands perfectly fine. But when we're trying to play Sackboy with my kids, I see my daughter. She's got like the controller like sitting on her knee, and she's like trying to press the buttons. I'm like, this thing is way too big for kids' hands. I feel like they need a smaller controller.
Oh, I'm sure you'll be able to find one.
Maybe eventually, but with the specific features that they have in this with the rumble and the resistance with the triggers, I think Sony's probably going to be real hesitant to let third parties make controllers for it. So it'll be interesting to see if they do, but I think Sony needs to release a smaller controller for smaller hands. I think they're kind of going to lose a little bit of market with that.
Well, I think you should go make a suggestion on their website.
Yeah, I've heard making suggestions on Sony's like forums and stuff doesn't really get things done, so I don't know if it's worth it.
Well, maybe go to Twitter.
At PlayStation, there you go.
Yes, there are some companies that just monitor their Twitter, and you make a comment, and they jump right on it.
That's kind of the Tesla way. Yeah.
Yeah. A lot of companies are doing that. So there you go.
Yeah. There you go.
Awesome.
So Jeremiah, last thing, what are you most excited about, or most excited about?
Third most excited about is my my podcast mic. So I'm going to move this just a little bit in case you don't get a good view of it. So I made this purchase recently, and actually, I'll be honest, this is the first time I've used it. But I will say that my son has been all over this. He's 13, and it's the best mic that he's ever used. He's used all kinds of mics. He games. He does Minecraft and these other games where they just yell at each other the whole time. When your kids get this age, you're going to notice this, whether they're playing Minecraft or Fortnite or whatever. They just tend to yell at each other. And he has raved about this microphone. And so
his yelling has never been so clear.
To his friends, yeah, it apparently is the most awesome sound that he's ever put out, according to his friends. So, I I don't know the brand right off the top of my head, but I'll say that it's been a really good purchase in that as far as he's been able to use it, and he'll do videos for his friends and things like that. And so he's got a lot of use out of this in this little bit of time that we've had it. But it came with a little kit where it's on the desk. I can move it. And as you can tell, it makes a really good sound as it's coming out. Would you not agree?
I think it sounds fantastic.
Yeah. So, I didn't go with the high end. In fact, I'll tell you what, give me a second here and I'll tell you exactly what brand it is. And let's see here. It is bought it from Amazon, of course. Alexa's not good, but an Amazon website is. I can't say the name. Isn't this lovely? I'm trying to help these people out. I can't say the name.
I'm sure it's some.
Mono.
I'm sure
Mono.
I'm sure
Mono?
it's some company from China.
Probably. I'm sure. An AO4 USB computer, mic, podcaster, condenser.
So how do you spell the company?
MAONO. Mono.
Yeah, I'm not going to attempt that one.
Yeah, exactly. So you feel me here?
I'm gonna. Yeah. It's either mono or like Mauno or something.
I think it's mono because it's maybe playing off stereo. Mono, right?
Maybe. Do they sell other things though?
Let's find out.
No,
They have a store.
Oh my God.
No, it's basically microphones.
Oh, okay.
They do have a few different models, but it is mostly microphones. I think they have a tripod for your phone, but it looks like
I'm sure it's not as good as your phone holder though.
Well, no, because it's like it's a tripod. Well, I guess it is a phone holder, but it's not the same. Come on, trust me.
I'm gonna have to because I don't know what it looks like.
I know you don't. I know you'll get to see it. I know you're excited about it. I love it. I love it. Mono. I'm going to call it mono because that's what they do. They do microphones. So I'm quite happy with it. Let me just say that I am very excited about it. When it got here, I got it open and we popped it out and plugged it in and started using it. So I think it's a great purchase.
Did yours come with a little pouch like mine did?
It may have. I'll be honest. I pretty much broke it out and connected it to the desk, and it's been connected ever since. So I don't know what happened to everything else. I got it plugged in and started using it. So
nice. Yeah. I'm like, what do I do with this pouch? My microphone's going to sit on my desk.
Well, maybe if we do a location podcast, you could put it in the bag and bring it along.
Put it in the bag.
There you go. Awesome. So, those are our top 3 purchases. Like I said, we're going to post this on the website. We'll put it on Facebook. You can see and you can figure out the name of the mic for yourself if you want to. But you'll be able to see these purchases.
Comment on our Facebook and YouTube.
Yes, please do, and let us know. Geeking Out Ninjas. Before we get finished here, what are you excited about this year, tech wise?
Oh man, that's I feel like there's so many things. The thing I think I'm most excited about is not really like new stuff. Google Fiber is going to be installed in my neighborhood and is being installed in my neighborhood. I think I'm most excited about that.
I would be too. Did they give you like a due date?
No, I mean they haven't put the flyers on the doors. My parents just had it installed in their neighborhood this past summer, and so they got the flyers on the door and all that stuff before they were ready to go. So they just started laying it in the neighborhood. I saw them yesterday burying the fiber. So I'm looking forward to hopefully in the next 2 months or so. My guess.
You didn't stop and talk to them and ask them about it?
No, I mean it's a contractor. It's
Well, they know.
I doubt they know when it's going to be. When are you going to be finished? Because I'm ready to sign up now. Just give me the fibers.
That's right. It's taken a very long time for them to get through this. I know they've had a lot of hurdles here in San Antonio.
Yeah.
With different aspects of trying to get it installed, but it seems like now they're starting to move a little bit.
Yeah, I think so. So check this out. I wore this because I knew I was going to try and talk about this. Do you remember these shirts that Google Fiber?
Yes, I never got
out?
mine.
So so this is what mine said. Make the internet better for all. Were you the one who? I don't remember if you were at CBC whenever we got these shirts, but someone got or like ordered one, but they didn't like what they put on there, so they gave them like a generic one. I guess they thought whatever was put on the shirt, I don't remember, was controversial. So they sent them like a generic Google Fiber shirt.
That's awesome.
It's been so long since they announced it. I think was it 2014, 2016 or something like that?
Yeah. I think it was right around, we started doing the radio show not too long after.
Yeah. That's crazy.
Yeah.
It's been that long.
Yeah. I'm very excited about it too, hoping that they start. I'm a little bit more north than you are, and east or west? I think east.
Yeah, a little more northeast. Not that far east.
Not that far. I'm pretty close to you now, but I'm hoping that they come out this way shortly, and they
fingers crossed.
Yes. Wow. Yeah, and I ordered a shirt. I never got one.
You must have had a controversial wording on your shirt.
I guess so. I didn't get anything. Man,
that is rather disappointing.
It is very. I wouldn't have it because I've worn it so much. I'm sure. Like yours looks brand new.
I think I've only worn it like 3 or 4 times.
Well, thank you for bringing it out and kind of dusting it out and getting it all nice and pretty for us.
Yeah,
looks good. It's a good shirt.
It really does. Still looks like a brand new shirt. So
it does. Are you gonna wear it and show the guys that are installing it? You can say, "Hey, man, look, I'm one of you."
When they come to my door and be like, "Hold on, let me go put on the shirt. I've been waiting for this."
I love it. I
don't know when you put these shirts out, but I've been waiting that long to order this service. I've been on their like email waiting list forever.
I think I've signed up several times for their email list. Now, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think they were going to stop doing the inexpensive version, right? The 25 meg.
Yeah, so they cut the $50, which I think was like 500 megs, it was 100 megs for $50. So now it's just $70 a month. But my internet's actually more expensive than that. Yeah, so I'm on AT&T gig right now, and so it was $70 for a year. Because I kind of need the unlimited data because they have like a 1 terabyte cap, and I easily go over 1 terabyte a month. So I needed the unlimited, and so once the year expired, they were like, "All right, it's another $30," and I'm like, "Oh, I don't want to pay it, but I don't want to go back to Spectrum."
That's right.
So I was like, "Well, Google's building in the area. Maybe I'll just hold out a little bit longer." And now it's happening, and I can finally get off of the teat of AT&T because I hate them so much.
Yeah. What's interesting is I had them for several years at my previous house, and probably the last 10 months that I was at the other house, I ended up cutting them off because I was working from home at that time. And so within a 6 month time frame, I think we lost internet connection 6 or 7 times for days.
Wow.
And I know once, I think it was due to construction, but the other times I never got an answer on why, it went out, and it went out for everybody, a couple of neighborhoods around us. So it's very strange. So I ended up switching to out in Cibolo. They had GVEC, and they had fiber.
Yeah.
Or no, it was EC. It was the electric company.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it wasn't the telecommunications. It was the actual Guadalupe Valley Electric Company, and they had fiber.
Nice.
I couldn't get a gig. I had a gig with AT&T. I think we only got 400 megs.
Was it symmetrical? So it was a 400 up and 400 down?
No, it was 400 down, and I think it was 200 up. It was still, pretty good up speed,
Yeah, it's
but
still good.
it wasn't the same. And so now I do have Spectrum because it was either that or 25 megs.
From
which-
AT&T's DSL or whatever.
Right, yeah, which I don't think I could ever go back to that.
No, that shouldn't even be allowed at this point in time.
Pretty much. So, and so your house is probably similar to mine. Well, and I have older kids, so they all have phones, right? And so they're streaming. I may be streaming, my wife is streaming. So, we got all kinds of stuff going on here.
Yep.
So we need. I think right now I have 250 down.
Yeah, but I think your up is probably 10 or 20 if you're on
Yeah.
Spectrum.
Oh yeah. Up's
terrible.
not. It's not very much.
That was what I had when I had Spectrum. So
yeah, we're making do. I mean, for the most part, we're doing pretty well. But I will be excited if I can get Google. I'll be very excited to get back to a gig. That was nice.
it is. It is nice.
Yes.
What are you most looking forward to for 2021?
I'll have to say our show.
Oh, yeah.
I'm very excited to get back into this and just sharing our experiences and our knowledge with everybody and hoping to build an audience this time. We had a few listeners, right? Would you say 10 if we were lucky on a good day?
We don't know how many we had on the radio, though.
True. So I'm looking forward to kind of making this happen again. I obviously you can tell I get excited about talking about even non-tech things. So to have a platform again to be able to share, what we're learning and what we're excited about with others, and hopefully get this out there to many more people. I think our Geeking Out show is going to have a pretty good year. So I'm really excited about getting back into this and getting on good topics, sharing the news, and really informing the masses out there.
There you go.
Awesome.
I think that's a good way to end it.
I think so too. So are we going to be doing this weekly?
I think we're going to do it weekly. We'll see how that goes. And then maybe we'll do other videos here and there talking about other things. We'll see how it goes.
I'm very excited. And one day soon, we'll probably be doing the show together again. Maybe.
Now that we're not too far away from each other.
Yep. I like it. You can come over and use my air fryer.
Perfect.
I'll be all right with that.
I'll be in a coma from all the food I ate at your house. We're doing the show. I want to finish eating this fried thing. I want to finish eating this churro that I made.
I haven't made a churro yet.
You're welcome.
I am going to do that this weekend. While we're gaming on our Quest 2, we're going to have churros.
Genius.
That sounds like a great weekend.
You're welcome.
Thank you. Thank you. All right, Craig. I think we geeked out good enough for tonight.
Yeah.
And I look forward to next week.
Yeah, we'll see y'all next week.
All right. Be safe. Be kind. Have a great week.